lost, there's always a hope. Rise and fight.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today to another game of 2v2 BSL Pro League. This is our fourth session on week 2. This is sponsored by Han and Trovo, and we're really trying to make a second season happen. So all of you guys who showed up today to watch these streams and really root for favorite players, or that all means a lot. So please continue your support, and we have myself and Medino here on the cast trying to really share the love for 2v2. So we really appreciate it and hope to have a great cast today.
Well, with that said, I think we're ready for our first game of today. And the first game is between it was Wave and Itsu and Andy Boy and John. No. Yeah. We have the first game that is between Zergboy and Andy versus Jonek and Zero. And the first map is, I can't remember, the Kyocera. Is that the correct pronunciation? And at the top left we have Zero, and at 12 o'clock you can see Zergboy playing as Protoss. And the purple player, Jonek, playing Terran, bottom right. And at 6 o'clock we have Andy playing Zerg.
Medina, so what are your thoughts on this map? Is this one of your favorite maps or one of the ones that you vetoed?
In ShieldBattery, this is one of the map that me and Marvin has vetoed, and we haven't played it that much, but we played it during this season and it was not as bad as expected. It's quite big for 2v2 with lots of expansions, and yeah. And as you can see on the minimap, there's a, depending on where you spawn, if you have, for instance, Zerg at bottom right and Terran or Protoss at 6 o'clock, it's quite easy for harassment and quick drops. And the other way around as well, Terran can get quick drop versus Zerg. So it's a lot of area to defend at 12 o'clock and at 6 o'clock.
Gotcha. Yeah, it does look like a big map, but depending on your spawn position, the rush distance could be highly variable.
Yeah, and you can see, I think Andy has a slight advantage with his position because of the ramp advantage, because he can easily push out the creep. But again, 6 o'clock position is bad if you have to put down spores, because you pretty much have to put one spore out of 2 spores in the mineral line and one to cover your gas. So that's a lot of minerals you don't really want to spend to cover your base. But then you see in Zero space at the top left, it's less area to cover because the Budas can't really go behind the mineral line and harass.
Yeah, so this is a pretty classic matchup, ZT versus ZP. If you had to choose one side, like ZP or ZT, which side do you prefer playing on?
Well, as a Terran player, I would prefer playing on the CT side, but playing CT, you're pretty much in need of a strong Zerg who can hold an early attack and also do a lot of damage early on. But you can see a very untypical opening from the PC team right now, because usually you want to send out your Zealots so you can contain the other Zerg in the Zerg Terran team. But right now, Andy had to pull back and protect the cannons because Zero wasn't contained, so he could move out pretty easy. And when that happens, the PC team loses the map control, because they can't really control where Zero is at any time.
Right. So it looks like the Zealots are pushing forward. It looks like they didn't have a very good hold of the ramp.
Oh, a bit unfortunate there with the Zealots. And Zero doing a good job picking up 4 Zealots right now, 5. And then he can just move back and use the ramp advantage, because you can see Andy has the superior number of Zerglings. So you just need to pull back, use the Sunken as good as he can while he waits for new Zerglings to arrive. So I think Zero should get away with this without taking too much damage. But
right, more typically the Zealots and Zerglings will push the ZT Zerg hard, that they just stay in their base and defend at their ramps. But for some reason I didn't quite catch what happened, but the Zealots didn't come in time, or
I think they were in time, but the Zerglings wasn't there because Andy had to go back home and protect the cannons. So Zero can just ran up and kill them, because if Zerg doesn't have the cannons on the ramp, the Zerg Terran team can just meet up and stim down the Terran. The Zerg. But you can see Jonek did a little bit early move out, so he pressured Zerg Boy. So he had to drill his probes. And sometimes you can see the Terran moves out early with 4, 5, or 6 Marines, because the other team is pressuring the Zerg. And usually, sometimes you can move out with 6 Marines and do some damage either at the Zerg or the Pradas, because the cannons will not be done, depending on how fast the Reforge is.
right. So that's usually a critical timing, whether they can bust open the ramp while the cannon's being built. So it looks like Jonek has gone pretty fast tech. His vessel is about to be made.
It's really fast.
Yes, so it looks like he sent his first group of Marines to his Zerg. So they're not going to be moving out anytime too soon.
No, now if he sent Marines to Zero, now they just want to wait for Zero to get Mutas up, and it's not quite clear yet what Zerg Boy is going to do as attack, if he's going Speed Zealots or DT. Either way, if he's going DT, Jonek will have the vessel, so he can move around freely on the map and not be worried about running out of scans. But Andy is doing a good job picking up the Marines, so the Marine defense is actually gone at Zero right now.
It seems like they could do quite a bit of damage with a Zealot Muta.
And this is costing Zero. Oh. Quick. There we have it, the quick drop. And now he's saving Zero, because Zero's mineral line, he was not mining because of the Mutas, but Andy has to pull back right now. And I imagine he lost the Spire just before +1 was done. He got it. Must have been close. There you can see it's an easy pickup from for Andy to kill off the Marines. He just lost a few seconds of mining time and the Spire. Zergboy has a lot of Stealth, so I'm thinking this must be Stealth speed and +1 attack, and they might want to attack Zerg when +1 and speed kicks in. But you can't see the forge. Forge is not spinning, so the timing will be quite late.
Right. I see
yeah,
another
sorry.
dropship.
Yeah. Oh, no Marines, so them. But I think Zero is attacking in his front, so maybe. No, it's only 2 links.
I think the first dropship was great. It did quite a bit of damage. It delayed his upgrades and killed the Spire. Not sure if the second drop was necessary. I think next timing for the Zerg Terran team would be the Mutalisk Ling plus Marina Medic combo, but he just lost his. Jonic lost his 8 Marines there.
Yeah,
those Marines could have come out like this and would
I
be
think
much more powerful.
Yeah, you're right. I think it would have been better if he used those 8 Marines in the front. I don't think they would have any chance of busting up the ramp because Zergboy has made a decent placement of the cannons on Andy's ramp. But here you can see Zero is dealing quite a lot of damage to Zergboy, which is forcing Andy to pull away his Mutas to help him. And does Zero realize this before? Let's see.
Oh, he's getting chased.
He's getting chased. Does he split him up? Does he lose them all? It's good for Andy, or good job by Andy. The +1. It's a lot of going on in this game. I think Jonic would have had more success maybe having a second dropship, and you can see he forgot to unload the 1 medic, so then the Marines dies pretty fast.
Yeah, and probably dropping it behind the mineral line could have worked good too, just to stall time. Yeah, in this cross position, there's a lot of back and forth, and air is going to be key because you can really not have to travel that far to get to the other base.
That was some nice irradiates, and also a nice split from Andy. Lost, I think it was 4 or 5 Mutas. And you can see Jonic is quite ahead here with the supply. And Zergboy does not yet have a base. So it will be crucial what that Dark Archon can do. If he either feedbacks the vessels or do a melee storm on Zero's Mutas. Because right now there is so many vessels on the field, and Andy can't really deal with Mutas and vessels. As you can see here, Zero going on, killing a lot of drones, and they're ready to, yeah.
I think this might be it actually. Once you're behind the Mutas at this point in the game, it's kind of hard to come back as the Zerg Protoss.
Yes, sometimes you kind of want to say, here's the GG, but I don't want to be that caster who says, this is the GG, and then the game goes on for another 40 minutes, and they come back. I'm not going to be that caster.
Looks like I'll be the caster.
Let's see if you jinxed it. Yeah, it doesn't look really good for the Protoss Zerg team though. Jonic has a big army.
Yeah, I think the worst part of the Zerg Protoss team right now is, as of a couple of seconds ago, they had less Mutalists And also, they're not going to be able to secure this base unless Zergboy pulls off a great defense.
Does he have... Storm might not even been done researching an EMP. That's a good play from Jonak.
Yeah.
And a good save from Zergboy, making the Archon. I think this entire game boils down to the early beginning, because they did block 0, which forced Zergboy to make 4 cannons at Zerg pretty early on. And making 4 cannons delays your own gas for some time. And you can see during this attack or after that, Zergboy doesn't really can't really afford going Storm, melee, cannons, and a base, because it simply don't have the gas for it.
Looks like Jonik might have overextended a little bit. He was really going aggressive against the ramp. But just by denying the Protoss's expo, it probably is just as good, if not better, than being too aggressive at the ramp. I would have probably pulled the Marines and Medic, or just put some bunkers down to really seal the game.
I was actually questioning Zergboy's cannon placement at home early on in the game, so I was excited to see how it would turn on when they were trying to moving up the ramp, and it looks like they're slightly outside the range of the Marines, so the Marines actually have to move up the ramp to kill the cannons and not stand below them.
Right, it was actually a pretty good positioning for Zergboy.
Yeah, as you can see the cannon placement at Zerg, Terran has no chance moving up that ramp versus 5 cannons and a Storm. So when they have that good placement, you just have to delay their expansion and just win the unit war, and then eventually you will just starve them out. Some good pickups from 0. And Zergboy is dealing quite some damage with those 4 salads that's been roaming around on the map for the last 5 minutes. So you should never underestimate the force of the Protoss.
That's right, yeah, they've been alive since minute 2 or 3 of the game.
Look like 0 is securing his base, and Zergboy is still struggling getting up his base. And I think we might need to see another Dark Archon, because Zergboy doesn't really have any anti-air except Andy's Mutas. And if they get irradiated enough, he has nothing.
Right. He could try go goons, but he doesn't have the gas. Oh.
It's another good EMP from Jonak, and he has five vessels on the map now, fully loaded with Radiate and EMP.
Nice splits, but...
Yeah, it's a nice split, but when you have 1 Irradiate for each Mutas... Yeah, and Templar die, and then... There we have it, GG. Jonak and 0 takes game 1. Then I'm excited to see which map Zergboy and Andy is picking for game 2. Here you can see the map pool they have to pick between, and there's no repeat, so Zergboy and Andy cannot pick his areas again. If it was me as a Protoss Zerg team, I would probably go with Python. It's a smaller map and it's easier to block the other Zerg in.
Okay, so I think their choice of map will be Vermeer. So, this is a relatively large map, but it is more symmetric than Kyocera's. So, it's more predictable. Rush distances are pretty far diagonally and also just horizontally and vertically. So it should be like a more standard maps that we see.
Yeah, I think Vermeer is quite similar to Fighting Spirit.
All right, so I think we're ready for our second game. Let's get started. Okay, we have Zero. Purple Zerg at 11 o'clock. And we have his ally Jonic, a Grey Terran, at 5 o'clock. And in cross-spawning locations, we have Zergboy, the Protoss, Red Protoss at 1 o'clock. And finally, we have Teal Zerg Andy at 7 o'clock. So again, it's a cross-spawning positions. So there will be pressure on the Zerg Terran team. So let's see if Zergboy and Andy puts appropriate pressure on him. It's actually quite a bit of distance to the ramp, so he can't just simply put down one creep and expect to secure his ramp. So
no, I don't think he would be needing a creep, but again, you can see Andy has been fortunate with his location because he's closer to the ramp than Zero is. Zero is quite similar like the last game. See, Jonic is optioning not to make a wall. I guess he's feeling confident that it's not a 9 pull, and usually it's not the Terran that gets pressured, but that depends what the Zerg is scouting at Zero right now. You can see that Zero is opening with 12 pull or 12 hatch in his main actually, which should be fine because Andy is opening with an overpull, which is also a good opening. So right now we can see a standard opening from both teams, and I think if Zero can survive in the first few minutes, he will have at least as good timing as Andy on the mutas, but he will be needing Marines to support him.
here are the first few Zerglings from Andy. Looks like he might have droned an extra one.
Yeah.
So he won't be putting too much early pressure, and it looks like Zero is already putting a safety sunken down.
The thing about the 12 hatch in his main is that if Zergboy and Andy went for mass links, and I think even if Andy is doing the lair, he can go mass links and support Zergboy's Dragoons. It's hard for Zero to hold his base because the Dragoons will come up and you will have to spend a lot of money on Sunkens to cover it because you don't have the ramp advantage.
That's right.
But as you can see, their option was to attack Jonic in this game because he didn't have a wall, and they saw that there was no 9 pull from the Zerg, so they feel confident to move out and pressure with all their units at the Terran. And as you can see, Jonic is struggling to contain this, and he will be needing help. So as a Protoss Zerg team, I would not be worried as a counterplay.
Here come 2 more Zealots into the base. That could be trouble. I'm sure that Zerglings are behind.
I'm not sure how many holes there are in his Jonic's wall. Is the one hole between the barracks and one hole between the supply depot? looks like it. So what you want to do, if you place one SCV in each hole, and then you select the Marine and you click hold. So when the Marine gets attacked, it doesn't move, so the Zerglings can run in freely. I didn't quite catch how the units got in the first time, but they're dealing so much damage right now.
Yeah, I see a lot of 1v1 players who think I'll just put some three SCVs at ramp and I'll hold them. But it's surprisingly hard to hold, and the economic cost of pulling those SCVs don't really justify the advantage of just having a wall.
It's true, but it's justified advantage of not dying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm always a wall. Like, don't think about, ooh, those are nice. Ling infiltration into Andy's base.
And now you can see the difference. Because of the sunken placement at Andy, Zergboy had to make some weird cannon adjustments, which allowed the Zerglings to just run in. But again, it would not be easy for any Marines or Zergling to run up that ramp. But Andy Boys non-stop zealots because they know Jonik is struggling.
Ah, he has lifted his building.
But I don't think it doesn't know. They moved away their Overlord from 0, so they don't really know his Muta timing, and that's why you see Zergboy is making a cannon in his main, just to make sure it's no early Mutas from 0.
Right, I think having an Overlord at each of the bases is super important. But yeah, it's tough when one person is out of the game, especially the Terran, and to win the game by yourself is an impossible feat almost.
Especially that early on, and as a Zerg with no natural expansion and on one base versus 2 players, it's nearly impossible, as you said.
Yeah. So what's the lesson of that game, Medinho? Have a good wall?
Yeah, have a good wall. I think learn from Trump. Wall is essential. And I've been talking to Jiraiya for years about his wall placements, and I think it's until recently when he really picked up the 2 versus 2, he's starting to make a wall. And I am proud of my little Terran baby because he's finally learning. But yeah, you need to have a wall. It's pretty much the only advantage you have as a Terran early on. Defend with few units behind a wall.
Right. Okay, so we'll be moving on to the final game of this set. They're currently tied at 1-1, and the third map will be on Allegro. Okay, so without further ado, let's get on it. Medinho, would you do the honors of introducing players?
So top left, you have Andy. Sorry, it's a bit unclear on my screen right now. I think it's Andy, or is it 0? Yeah, it was a bit blurry. Sorry, it's Andy. And at bottom left we have Zergboy as Protoss. And top right corner you have Jonik as the yellow Terran. And bottom right at 5 o'clock you have 0 as the orange Zerg. And let's see, Jonik again has been a bit unfortunate with his spawning position, because it's not easy to make a wall on that location. So you can see his option to make a sim city in his main, which is fine, because if they have somewhat decent map control, he can just place his marines on the ramp early on and maybe put some SCVs in the block. And Andy is opening with an overpull again. And we see a 12 pull from Zero. As a Protoss player, when you scout this somewhat early and you see the Zerg is doing the 12 pull, your job is pretty much delaying his second hatch as long as you can. Because if you delay him taking the ramp, the sunken will also be delayed, and then it's easier for the Protoss and the Zerg team to pressure the Zerg. But you can see now Zero was tricky. So he snuck out a little drone a bit early and have a good placement on his hatch.
So we see Andy going lair first, and he probably will follow up with speed lings unless he finds zero use. But I think most people tend to get speedlings after their lairs, just to be on the map and to secure their positions. And it looks like Jonic has built a nice sim city in his main.
Ooh.
Oh,
he do not want a repeat from the last game. But this is a really nice SimCity. I sometimes use this SimCity in 1 versus 1 if you face players that have a reputation of doing 4 pulls, 6 pulls, or whatever. Or if you have beaten the same player 2-3 times in a row, then you might feel a 4 pull is coming. So just be sure you do this. But a 4 pull is not to be expected in 2 versus 2. Very rarely. Right now it seems that Zergboy and Andy is feeling confident to take the natural expansion as with Andy, which is very good.
yeah, Jonic is quite delayed actually with the bunker. Not by too much, but just the fact that he had to spend an extra 100 minerals probably will delay his marine and medic timing. But they still do have a chance in the initial push. Let's see how Zero defends this aggression.
First cell's taking quite a lot of damage. He should rotate. Yeah, as Andy points out, micro-it. Because they can sit there now pretty much forever, because they're forcing out either Jonic has to come and help him or he has to make a second sunken. And if you can get away with 1 sunken as a Zerg, that's ideal. And as you mentioned earlier, that Andy will probably go for the Zergling speed as well, and you will need that, because after you're containing the Terran Zerg's base, Terran will try to move out with a few Marines, and if you have 10 or 12 Zerglings, you can pretty much eat them up. And we can see Zero trying to drill. a bit unlucky, because the Zerglings did not want to cooperate. Also, Andy was quite aware of it might happen, so his Zerglings were not far away. So even when Zero breaks through these zealots, it will be quite hard moving down the ramp because of the concave of Zerglings waiting for him.
And Andy knows the Marines are coming to help Zero, so he smartly knew how to pull those Zerglings back for future use.
Let's see, yeah, it's good. I think it's really hard for Jonic and Zero to try to push. Also, Andy is coming from behind and helping out. +1 attack on the way from John X Marines. Is he stacking? Or oh, he's probably trying to make bunkers. I saw a few SCVs going along with Marines, so it's too few to stack, so he's probably gonna try. No. Close one's making bunkers, which is really nice. Maybe not the best position to make the bunkers. You might have put them a little bit to the right, and might even put them a bit closer to the ramp. So you start hitting the units as soon as the. Totally. I've said before that the longest seconds in the world is the seconds when you're trying to squeeze your marine into an unfinished bunker and walking on a treadmill. Those are the two situations where the seconds feel the longest. And now John can never get a new SCV down there.
Yeah, he'll be just sending lines and lines of SCV, but I'm not sure if they'll ever make it.
I think the bunker was, what, 349? So, and yeah, you can see it's 99% finished. But he's not giving up. Still some saving money down there, $200. Third attempt. As you can see, Andy is right on top of it.
Jonik actually has a pretty fast tech. He already has a starport done.
Also, with the initial bunker he made, he gets away with only one turret. So I think that allows him to get the faster vessel or the faster tech, because you don't have to spend 300 minerals on turrets.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. What seemed like a excessive waste in the beginning turned out to be just a future savings fund.
I can see Zergboy is reacting to this quite nicely with dropping out some units. And I think I saw support, what is it called? Support bay, yeah, as well. They found the drop, but Andy is right on top of it. And you can see the advantage Andy is taking from his base now. He's actually in the lead of supply. Usually you see Terran be in the supply by this moment because of all the Marines, but Andy has been picking them off one by one. And got a quite healthy drone count. Well, the bunkers are still doing their job, delaying the Nexus. And now we see we have the +1 timing from Andy and Zergboy. And the Reaver. Let's see if we can have some bonnet connections with the Reaver.
The Marines had some tough time coming down the ramp, just like Zero's Zerglings earlier this game. So they're actually quite behind. I think they're stimming down.
Oh yeah, you can see the blue line walking down, but I'm afraid it's a bit too late. They're doing a good job holding on the ramp, and one units are walking up the ramp. It's like watching the first people walking out in the gladiator scene. You know they are going to die before the main event. Let's see, it's a good pickup.
Oh.
Yeah, Zero lives. It's the follow-up, but now Zergboy is expanding behind this, and Jana can't really push out from Zero's base because Zero is lost at hatch and has a few drones. And if Zero wants to make mutas from one hatch, he need at least 9 drones, 3 on the gas and 6 on the mineral line. But let's see, game's not over yet. I think Zerg boys should just continue with Reaver and Dragoons. But he has all the tech.
We're seeing a lot of variety in Zerg Boy's tech choices. Because the bunker wasn't finished, he probably could have just gone a full Templar Archive unit, but he like made a Reaver, a Shuttle, and then now he's making a Dark Archon. And kind of transitioning back.
Yeah, it's a little sign of panic, because like you see the bunkers coming down and you're thinking like, okay, I'm never gonna break free. And but usually what Terran and Zerg players, myself included, often forget, that is, you're thinking you're smart blocking the Protoss in, but he will have a probe at Zerg's base. So if you don't keep track of that probe, he can take a sneaky base, and if the Protoss and Zerg are in control, he can even take Zerg's natural base if the cannons are not placed there earlier. So Protoss have a lot of options to recover, but that depends on how the game is moving on, and no game are ever the same. So
right, I actually like maybe dropping down 2 or 3 gates at Zerg's base and resume production mostly at your ally Zerg's base, so you can have some units moving out that way.
Yeah, precisely. That's a smart move as well. Let's see now what Zerg Boy's option to use his Dark Archon for. I think it's, since Zero's Mutax count is lower than Andy's, I would do feedback. And we see, ooh, it's just out of range. Coming in, one feedback and one already. It's a good storm and a good man.
Oh,
yeah, getting every muta. Ooh. It's a good job from Jonik to not lose all his Marines that storm.
Oh! It's okay, Andy can afford that.
Yeah, they're just showboating right now. I like what Zero is doing. He's doing what he can do and he's trying to take an expansion, but it will be nearly impossible because the Protoss and Zerg team has the map advantage, and you can see on the minimap how much red, and Andy has spread out his links, making it like a map pack for the Protoss player. You can see the entire map. Now Andy has so much units, he's even in the red. See more gateways being produced. Andy's doing a good job keeping his minerals down, because usually you can see when a Zerg is doing mutas only, his mineral count is quite high, as opposed of his gas, but he's micromanaging his money quite well. I know I was not gonna say it, but I think we are pretty close to a GG. I think Andy and Zerg Boy has been on point from the game started to the end. They took map control, they pressured Zero and contained him as long as they could. It looks like they did a nice comeback from being 0-1 down to might win the series. this might be the final blow.
Are they gonna have a celebratory storms on mutas?
Yeah. I think Zerbo is going to backstab Andy and then move out to the next round for himself.
That was a nice game. I think it showed a lot of dynamic gameplay, and like you said, they pressured Zero quite well. And the fact that he didn't have a way to get out reliably, and unfortunate, Zergling's running around the ramp. I think if they could break the ramp in time, they could have tried busting through Andy's expansion, because Marines and medics will be close to Andy's expo. So if they met up in time, I think there could have been a moment, but I think that transition didn't happen that well. But overall, solid games.
Yeah, I think that might have been their window, but as you said, it was hard for them to move out on the map. And again, Zerbo was doing heavy cannons at the natural. I think I saw 5 or 6 cannons early on, and he only had 2 at home with himself. And he also had a lot earlier gas this game than he had in the first game, which helps him getting the robotics, the support bay, the High Templars, and everything he needs to move out and take the expansion. Can we do 2-3 minutes? My glass is empty.
Okay, so that concludes the first game, first set of games. Before we go on to the next set, we'll have a brief 2 to 3 minute break. We'll refill our glasses and have a little break.
Yeah, thank you guys. Okay, guys, that was the first series of the day, and we are now moving on to which was it, Leif? Okay, now we will have Jonek and Zero versus Hysup and sorry, and Nublish, yeah. And the first map is Fighting Spirit, and let's get into it. Okay, you do the intros, Leif.
Okay, so we have at 1 o'clock we have Hysup, Zerg, and we have his ally Protoss, Nublish at 5 o'clock on the same side of the map on the right side. And on the left side of the map, we have our former contestants Jonek at 11 o'clock and his ally Zero at 7 o'clock. So again, this is a similar matchup, ZP versus ZT, but we have an early proxy pylon coming down from Nublish.
Yeah, you can see some shenanigans here from the PC team. And one of the team were blinking in the map, and I'm not sure who that was, if Jonek and Zero was expecting proxy gates in the middle. So let's see if Jonek is scouting middle with his first SUV, because the 9 o'clock position is not a place you ever scout for proxy Rex. You scout the middle and you scout in your base. But you can see Zero is already sending his overlord to Jonek. So the gates will be detected quite fast.
That's actually very fortunate for Zero and Jonek, because I typically send my overlord towards the bridge, but directly sending the second overlord to Jonek might be a blessing.
Yeah, I usually do the same as well, because I send it diagonally, because then you can see what's going on the map, because you want to see for early push, servings, probes, whatever, what moves around on the map, you want to see it. And you want to be ready. And not just to prepare a sunken, but also be mentally prepared if you have to drone drill or whatever you have to do. You want to have as much advantage as possible. And again, Jonek is optioning not to make a wall, and since the Terran team doesn't really know where the push is coming, he's making a bunker just to make sure he don't die. If he can catch the overlord, that would be quite nice. I think Hysup will just be able to save it. Zero is doing a good job denying the push right now. They can't really do much now but to hold him and then take map control. I'm interested to see if they're going to make... Hysup is not making mutas, he's just making servings.
Yeah, they're pure mass at the moment.
And it seems they're trying to make cannons at Jonek's natural. And Jonek scouts it. But with no link support, he cannot break out in time with just Marines and medics. So it seems like this contain will sit. And Zero will going to need a third sunken to open up the ramp. And by that time the cannons would have been finished. And you can see the factory is already starting. This is decent cannon placement from Nublish, because I think if you place the piece on the fifth part of the cannon right there, you can kill. Can you kill every cannon? Maybe. But
I
will
think
take
it might
some,
be within reach.
It might take some time. I also like Zero going for the lair because he has 2 seconds, 20 links, but
Oh, but this might be tough one. Yeah.
this is a lot of red units. And if you sends in the zealots first, you should send in the zealots first to buffer for the zerglings. But I think at this count it doesn't really matter what you do. But that's an excellent drill from Zero. Should it be enough? It's so close. Canceling the, yeah. This is a very good hole, but
Yeah, and Terran is not going to be able to help anytime very soon. And because the Heisup decided to go full mass, it's not over.
yeah, Nublish he locked Jonik inside and he threw away the key. So initially it was a very good hold from Zero. Maybe if you had went for the third sunken, but I don't think they have any vision at Zerg's base, so they don't really know if he's going Muras or if he's going mass like he is doing. So if they had that information about he's going pure links, I think Zero could have waited with his lair attack and made the third sunken and more Zerglings, and he would be able to hold the first push. But these are things it's easy to say now when you don't really know what's going on the map. We see everything, so Captain Hindsight strikes again.
Right. I think if you're in Zero's position, you already made 2 sunkens, and do you really want to secure the ramp with third sunken? I think it tends to... The answer is probably yes when you see all the mass that's being made, but like, you feel confident, you feel those 2 sunkens are strong, and it's easy to just think you can out micro, but it's tough.
Zero eliminated. He didn't even get to type GG. So I think Heistap and Nublish actually should be disqualified for bad manner during this game.
Well, the game technically is not over, so I guess they can skip the GG for now. It's up to the remaining 3 players to type GG.
Oh, look at that cannon. Jonik, if he can get up the ramp, I don't think the Pro Zerg team is ever gonna... it's good. It's gonna be close. I think the siege tanks are gonna get picked up. Now Jonik, he needs to hustle up the ramp and block with his medics. Block with his medics? Okay.
Does he have a sunken at main?
No idea, but I think if he can get... It depends on if he can kill every probe. He needs to get the probe because 8 probes, 9 probes, so healthy for the Protoss player. Let's see the power of the medics. So cool. Okay, this could turn out to be a 1 versus 1 game, Zerg versus Terran. But again, I think Jonik needs to be a little bit more decisive. Yeah, and go for the probes. 5 probes left. Does he still have a probe at 9 o'clock? No, I think that's it. Okay, so no probes for save.
That's a nice round.
That's a good pickup because now Hysup have map control, pretty much. But I think, yeah, the Mutas might be a little bit too late right now because Jonik has the tech advantage. And I like what Jonik did. He decided to leave those Marines on the ramp so he can just do whatever he wants in Protoss main with the remaining Marines. He's trying. He's trying. Protoss is like poker. You only need a chip and a chair. And as long as you have a probe, you're fine. You're fine. But there's a decent amount of Zerglings on the map for Hysup. And if you can get a good surround, I'm not sure if... yeah, the Zealots as well can buffer. And with a good surround, I'm not sure if the +1 is finished for the Marines. Nope. It might kick in soon. A good spread by Jonik, good micro. Taking very little loss on that engagement. And here you can see the 1 versus 1 move. Place an evolution chamber in front of your sockets. Buy time. Jonik expansion behind this push. Collecting the rest of his Marines.
Let's see if we can.
Yeah, how good is the split? And it's already done? Maybe Jonik forgot about it. Or maybe Jonik is just flexing. I don't need it.
Wow, so even with his ally eliminated, Jonik found a little hole when the cannons weren't done. And that was a nice move.
Yeah, I think Nublish made too many Zealots because his cannons at home were too late. And I think it helped a lot for Jonik that Zero held on as long as he could, which let Jonik kill off the pylon and move out with his Marines. And since Zerg didn't have any tech and Protoss didn't have any tech, I think that was what made the game. Okay, we're going into the next series, or the game number 2, and Hysup and Nublish selected Allegro, which is a decent PC map, so I understand the choice. And it's also nice to pick some maps that is not so common, like picking Python Spirit or Python or Gamlan. So yeah, let's jump into it.
Okay, so
yeah, be my guest.
Thanks. We have Nublish. We have a magenta Protoss at 11 o'clock, and we have his ally Hysup at 1 o'clock, a red Zerg. And on bottom side of the map, we have Zero, a light blue Zerg at 5 o'clock, and at 7 o'clock, his ally Jonik, who made a great move of going to the Protoss last game.
I think either way, or no, you're right. Going Protoss might have been the best thing, because if he had attacked Zerg, he would have been surrounded from both sides with Zealots and Zerglings, so I don't think he would have been able to kill the Zerg's natural, and he would have lost those 12 Marines. So he did a good decision.
Yeah, typically, people want to go travel the shortest distance, but he knew, maybe Jonik knew that there were no units at Protos's main. So if there is no cannon, it's free real estate. You just walk right in, it's your house.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Jonik scanned and saw it. I might have missed the scan sound, but yeah. Okay, Jonik is taking a different route this game. He's going for the tech play, which we have not seen from Jonik in the earlier series. And now he's looking for the proxy gate. But you can see the probe is coming into his base and starting to harass his building SCV. And Heist Up went for the 9 pull. Let's see if it's going for the... I think when you're doing 9 pull, you should do speed first and layer second, because you want to be out early as you can on the map and take control. Because right now they don't know if Zero is going for 9 pull. So he could have went 9 pull and speed, and then Zero would have been the player with the map advantage. And he could hide 6 links wherever he wanted on the map and then potentially kill the probe that is supposedly to build cannons at the Zerg base.
Right. When you see Terran going tech like that and potentially going Wraiths, do you feel more inclined to go layer first as the opposing Zerg within you?
Yeah, you would go layer first because you want to have the mutas out as fast as possible. And I have not had any success with going Wraiths versus 9-pull muta, because you have to deal a lot of damage and it's not that easy. But depends how fast is your cloak. Is he doing speed overlord? Yeah, does he have low overlords in range? But I think Jonik is going to go for fast vessel play. Okay, my bad. Here we see Goliaths. Jonik's add-on is quite fast composed to his armory, so you might see mines or speed butchers first. And I can see 100 gas went away from Jonik, so you might see mines. Mines is a good way to get the map control this way, because you will place mines across the map. But the unfortunate part going mines versus Zerg and Pradas is that the Zerg player usually send his second or third overlord to the Pradas. So if you're mining him, he just moves after the overlord, and the mines don't really do much. But you can have success.
Yeah, and they're also limited by the fact that the Mutalisks are going to be out soon, and they can't stay on Vultures forever. They have to start pumping Goliaths, so you're not going to have that many mines on the map.
Now you can see Zero got away with just 1 sunken because the pressure wasn't really there. And then because now they mine in the Pradas player, and they might want to try break, but I think it's too much cannons and army. And what they're doing now is preventing them to run up the ramp. You see a block. Yeah, the mutas are out. With speed, you might be able to run up, but then you're gonna need at least 4 or 5 vultures. But they get a drone, and they get information about there being a lot of cannons. And the Nublish is going for Dragoons this time. I'm not sure, I don't think they know about the mines. So we'll see. You might step on them. some good spore placement from Zero this time, so he takes no damage from the Mutas.
So we see Zero is going lair after the first aggression on the cannons. This might be a little bit risky because when the goons and Mutalisk come towards any of the either Jonic or Zero, it might be a little bit tough to defend, but we'll see. Maybe he'll get the Mutalisk out in time.
Yeah, the Muta circling combination is really good versus Dragoons, but I think Zero might need a Sunken or a Spore on his cliff, because right now you can see either Jonic has to stay at his base, protect him with his Goliaths, or else they will lose that hatchery. In 2 versus 2, the building placement, especially as the Zerg, has a lot of say, because you have less economy than the other players, and you would like to defend your base as good as possible, investing as little as possible. This is a good pickup from Jonic. Already +1 attack on his Goliaths.
I don't think we noticed it completely, but are there gateways going down at Zerg's base?
It's 3 gateways.
Wow, so he's going power mass on one base.
This is like what you mentioned earlier, then if you're getting bunkered, you place the gateways in Zerg's base, and you pretty much surrender your main base and stop making units there, but he has quite a lot of units at home, so this is going to be mass. But they still don't know about the cannons. No, sorry, the mines. +1 as well coming in for Nubish.
Oh, hopefully he notices that there are mines. Got lucky there. Oh.
What is this map pack? Look at this.
Oh.
One connect, okay. But the blue team has a lot of units in the middle, and now Zero will support with his Mutas, but this is a lot of products. And I think Zerg has +1 carapace on his Mutas, so that pretty much even out the +1 attack for the Terran player. Oh. I think Johnny got a bit lucky there.
Yeah. All right.
Disengagement.
There are quite a bit of goons, actually.
Yeah, the Dragoons are dealing so much damage to the Goliaths. Even though the blue team had a lot of units, just wasn't enough, because the red Zerg has the upgrade advantage on Zero. So even if Zero is trying to have even amount of Mutas, he will lose, because in those fights you want to go Zerg versus Zerg. It's pretty much the same as in TC versus TC. You want to go CVC and eliminate Zerg's Mutas, because it takes longer time for the Zerg to rebuild their Mutas than it does for the Terran player to rebuild their Goliaths.
Right. Do you think this fight would have been different if Zero made full links instead of going Mutalisk, or do you think Mutalisk was the right decision?
Eventually you will have to have Mutas anyway, because you can't harass the Protoss player or the Zerg player with sneaking out 4 or 5 links in the late game, you will need mutas, but it's hard to say. I think because Nublish has 5 gates, the overwhelming units he can produce on those are just too much. And you can see it's one base, just pure units.
I think that was the right decision for Nublish. Trying to take his Expo, it probably isn't the best combination with your ally having 2 hatch mutas. So really providing that mass was, I think, the right idea.
Yeah, it was really sneaky, and the blue team was not expecting it. And of course, you're quite surprised when the Protoss moves out with 30 Dragoons after 8 minutes, when you expect something else. But here you can see the power of two gas mutas. It's just too much versus one gas muta. I think the blue team did a good job early on, but because of the amount of units the PSD team will get, it will just be too hard. And you can see Jonic is purely Goliath. Some good connection. Purely Goliath vultures, and because he can't really afford making siege tanks as well.
There's
It's
a
either
GG.
that, yeah, GG. Good game and sneaky play by the red team. And they took the series down pretty fast, 2-0, and move on in. It's 1-1. Sorry. Yeah, Jonic was the MVP last game. Sorry. 1-1, tying up the series.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there were 2 key moments last game. The first was the initial aggression at High Subs Expo. I think Zero might have used close to 16, 18 lings. So, but they weren't able to accomplish much. Those 20 lings could have added a lot of power in mid game, in terms of like seeing the map with burrowlings, or even having the leisure of going faster mutalist. So I think that compounded the mid game tilt towards the Protoss and Zerg. So
yeah, I think you're right. If you think about it, in that final, or one of the final engagement where the Zerglings and the Goliaths and all collided, if Zero had those 20 links, of course this is 10 minutes later. So, but if 20 more links, he could have surrounded Dragoons, come in from behind, and the turnout could have been different. But what if, and maybe, but that's how 2 vs 2 usually goes, that you should have done that. But that's how we learn, and the next time we try to do it and the opponent is prepared, and you blame your ally and you move on to the next game.
that's exactly the way you think in 2v2, and that's how you can sleep at night. All right, so we're moving on to the final game of the set. The map will be Vermeer. All right, so let's get to it. Medinho, would you like to do the introductions?
Yeah, in the top left corner we have Zero as the white Zerg and his ally. In the bottom left, at 7 o'clock, we have a yellow Terran, Jonic. And bottom right, 5 o'clock, we have Hysup as the red Zerg. And the top right corner we have the brown player, Nublish. And let's see if the red team decides to play another standard game, because they tried to do a cheese build in the first game, didn't work out. So maybe they decided we have a better chance, just play it out standard and make adjustment accordingly to what we scout and get information about in the game.
Right, and I'm curious what Jonic will do this game, because I think he, after the sneaky proxy gates and being cannoned in, it's like maybe if he goes factory, he has more options against those plays. But I'm curious. But it looks like he's not going for a wall again either.
Which is quite curious because most of the maps have the same wall opportunities as the other. You have to just make small adjustment where you place your supply depot. And Jonic actually has one of the easiest plays to make a wall, full wall, at that location. On Vermeer, 11 o'clock is the hardest place to make a wall for the Terran. It's pretty much impossible, and you are nearly forced to do Marines if you get that spawn, because your Marine spawns on the outside of the barracks. So if you face a 9-pool, it's gonna be tough. You might have to make a bunker, and then you're already delayed. So now you can see Nublish is doing a great job with his probe. Jonic's trying to... No, he's tricking Nublish. He's pretending to place a battery as overfaced. That's nice. And you can see Hysup, he opened up with a 9-pool, so the Zerglings are already on the map. And this time he optioned to make the Speedlings first. I'm not too sure about... I think Zero's base is good CVC 1 versus 1, but in 2 versus 2 you don't really want... versus Terran, you don't want a SimCity with a sunken inside your base. It's good versus Pradas and Zerg. Excuse me, that's what I was playing. But if later on the Dragoons come, and now Zero will be forced to sit in his base for a really long time. And you can see a probe is already down at Nublish's base. Gonna put down the pylon at the ramp this time. And here Zero has 2 options. He can put down a second sunken and skip links and make more drones and start his lair tech faster. Jonic with the gas still, playing as the products.
Yeah, this is not a great position to be in, to be completely blocked off, and until your Terran ally comes and helps break you, you're basically sitting in your base. So the Zerg Protoss team, they're at their leisure to cannon how many they want and go fast tech. So
I was looking at Jonic's mineral also. I think he forgot to cancel the gas at Prada Space. He did not get a refund.
No, he wore it for too long. He wore it for a week, and now he can't return it. Oh,
Zero got out. How did he? No, maybe he drilled. I don't know. We missed it. This is a good pickup. Get those zealots.
yeah, I'm surprised the Nublish didn't send any more zealots. It would have been quite helpful.
This could be really close if they want to go Protoss. He only has 1 cannon, and we can see he has the money to make even 1 or 2 more cannons. But this is going to be a tight hold. The key is here now for Jonic to stim, and they aim at the same zealot, so Zero can run in with the Zerglings and target down the cannon. See, the probe rail is good, and the cannon, you can see how much damage it deals. So insane. But yeah, target down the probe is good. this buys enough time for Nublish to get the second cannon, and then the Lynx run in behind. Yeah. So great hold.
Looks like he didn't lose that many probes either. Interestingly.
No, I was pretty sure I was going to break that. Nublish did a great job holding on. No spores. Then we have the Mutas that 2 shots the drones. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Highs up doing a good job with his Mutas, causing a lot of damage to the drone line.
Coming from behind. Just makes it.
Yeah, and Celos plus 1 attack. Timing. Speed is probably on the way for Nublish. The speed will be finished a little bit faster than the +1, but the timing will still be there too. But Zero has already re-dropped. He was down to 4 drones, and now he has 12. Looks like Nublish is trying to get out and get pylon up so you can start making cannons at this neutral. Zerg taking a sneaky base at 3 o'clock.
Here comes the Mutalisk in Jonik's base. Oh, well, he might lose a Muta or 2.
That's a good pickup. You can see on the map now when either of the team is attacking each other, it will come as a surprise. There is no map awareness. So that gives it really little time to prepare. Like, usually when you see the Protoss moves out, the Terran can start preparing, okay, I need to hotkey my units and be prepared that my ally might be attacked, so you are ready to move out as soon as you see the red dots on the minimap or your ally shouts out for help. Those few seconds here and there, they are so essential, really, you can move out and reduce the damage by so much when you know it's coming.
Oh, here's a key moment. Are they gonna chase him down? I think it's the right idea not to go Zerg because there are already 6 or 7 Mutalisks. But if they can...
I think Jonik did it wise and going back to his ramp as well, because I think the red team has so much units that with that small marine ball on the map they could have just run it down. Or as we say in the 2v2 community, whenever you see an opponent's army on the base and you want to attempt to attack it, you just say eat, try to eat it, and then you see if you get a full stomach or not. You might go home hungry, but sometimes you have a full stomach and happy life. But it seems like things are starting to stabilize a little bit. Jonik has +1, I think, and Zero has a group of Mutas. I think Jonik is already ready with his vessels. He might have 1 or 2 already on map. Yeah, there you see the first one. Second one on the way. That's an important Templar at the 3 o'clock base right there. And it seems like Jonik scanned... did you see it? Almost. He scanned the ramp to see if the process. But now they know about the base. Do they know about the Templar though? Not yet, not yet. There it comes. I think this is going to be huge. Oh. That's a good pullback from Jonik.
But still, I think this will be a good fight for Zerg Protoss team.
Yeah, but it was a good irradiate with a really nice bit by Hysup. He selected the irradiate one pretty fast. Bojanic has a decent gas bank, so he can just keep on pumping out more and more vessels. I'm not sure if the Protoss has Dark Archon or if he's switching to Dragoons, Templar, and It's not every game you need a Dark Archon. It certainly helps, and it looks so scary for the Zerg. Because usually the Zerg wants to move around on the map and pick up Templars that is walking around alone. But when there is a Dark Arc on the map, there is always a constant threat that you will be melee stormed, and But another good irradiate, another good split. Zero is doing a good job here fighting Mutas versus Mutas.
I think Terra might need a bigger army before engaging battle in the center. I think it would have been a good idea to pull those Marina medic units from Zero's base and combining them before they went to 3 o'clock. I think they survived the initial Zealot speed timing attack, but right after that is when they usually have an advantage, when Protoss doesn't have Storms or Dark Archon ready for a Maelstrom, so that would have been a nice addition. Oh, but that's a nice pickoff.
That's a good pickoff. They should, storm in. Should regroup, and then the Mutas fight the Sunken as well, and then the Marines do damage with the damage to the Mutas. This is a good engagement for the blue team. I think they can do a lot of damage before the Protoss comes down. A lot of the red Mutas die. But still, there are 4 High Templars coming down. Can they get it? It's gonna be close. It's a good storm. But they reduced Hysup's drone count by a lot. It's down to 10. But he's taking his natural and then will be on 3 base, 3 gas. Jonik protecting Zero's base. And Jonik is switching now to Cloak Ghost because he wants to help Zero target down the High Templars. And usually the Protoss army doesn't go Observer like this early. You can say that after 50 minutes. And the Zero player doesn't really need Speed Overlord because there are no mines, there are no invisible units on the map. So the Ghost might come as a surprise, but you have to control the Ghost pretty decent because they are quite vulnerable. And if Nublish pay attention, they are just 1 storm away from being annihilated. Ooh. Looks like Zero is trapped right now. And he has scores. Okay, it's good. I think he has muted advantage. Looks like that.
Cool. But he's microing pretty well to stay alive.
He has a drone advantage as well. So when Hysup is been trying to catch up in the drone supply, Zero has been making mutas. But he is at a tricky spot, being surrounded. Okay, let's see. 1, 2. Oh, come on! 4. He has 9. That's 1-shotting now. Oh, this. Ooh. look how close the Overlord is. All the Templars are gone. I know he had one at the 3 o'clock.
Oh.
And he had, look, the Overlord is so close. Just outside breach.
Now they see it.
What? Oh. Still a good play from John picking up so many high Templars.
This is a pretty tight game, I would say.
Yeah, it's hard to call. Hysup is on 3 base, but he's down in supply from 0. And 0 is feeling pretty confident because he has 3 bunkers in his natural. And it's not that easy for the Protoss players to break because you just dim the Marines and run back into your bunker. And here we have the combination. Ooh, drop and a mutaplay, but there's 2 Templars with looks like 4 Storms available. And that's a good Storm. And he has one more ready for the Marines. Spire goes down.
Oh,
And the Marine goes down. Yeah, good Storm. 2-1 upgrade, I think. Yeah, Carpus. 1 plus Carpus and 1-1. Side Protoss is getting pretty big, but Terran is in 3 base as well. But as you can see in the limits, the unit count, that the Nublish is quite far ahead. He nearly has the other 3 players combined.
So Nublish has to make a decision. Either help or finish 3rd.
There you have a stim and then run back in. It's so many Dragoons. And there are Templars everywhere. And after this push, Nublish will be on 4 bases.
That's a nice sunken build timing.
Yeah, you're
I
not
think-
breaking.
Yeah, without that. Yeah.
But do we have nuclear silo on? Yeah. Still a few minutes away from the nuke to be ready, and I'm not sure if Zerg is making Speed Overlord or do we have observers?
I think
yeah,
I saw observer.
Yeah, we saw them, and close, so close. The 0 almost taken down. 12 o'clock. The red team just got in time. You can see. I think personally, John X SCV count is a bit low. He's focusing to make more units, but at 34 SCVs, he pretty much has 12 SCVs on each base. And as you can see, Nublish is already on 50, 56, which is a decent amount that can support 4 base. So I'd like to see at least 15 more SCVs from Jonik.
Yeah, I think that's one playstyle, but then you have to be really careful with your units. Like, if you... even trading, I'm not sure would be the best thing if you're really like squeezing your units out on low V.
Nuclear launch
Oh.
detected.
Yeah, it's a fine line. It's a fine line, really. Let's count down the 14 seconds it takes for the nuke to launch to land. 14 seconds to react.
Oh,
Boom. That's a nice.
wow. I think that's the first nuke in this V2 series so far. So this is a momentous time.
And that was 14 probes lost, so now they're pretty much even in the in the worker count. And Zero has a lot of mutas. He has more mutas than Isaac. Prada's base is so close, so. But it's a pretty tight game. As you can see earlier, Nublish was on 150, 160 supply. Right now he's struggling to keep up with that numbers. And he has the crystal upgrade, or what it's called, on the Pradas, the High Templars. So
Yeah.
so he has 4 storms on each Templar.
Oh, I think he can do 3 storms per
Is it 3?
Templar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally you can do only 2. But yeah, I think after mid-game, having that upgrade is so nice, because you just end up not using all of your Templars all the time, but having like 1 Templar shoot 3 storms.
Yeah,
That's
you have a
pretty good.
Templar just standing alone on the map somewhere and then regaining his energy. And so, oh, look, a Templar! Whoa, so many storms. It's a good day to be Pradas. And often as a Terran player, you think, just Kilo, you think that after you have dodged maybe the first 2 storms, you think, okay, nice, it's good. I dodged them. I still have 5 Marines. And then the 3rd storms come in and ruin your day. And I think the red team has been pretty much spot on their reaction to this game, because Zero tried to harass a little bit down in high sub space, and you can see after a few seconds the High Templar was already moving, preparing to make a storm. So they have been really focused and watching where the action happened in this game. And High Sub has now regained the unit account advantage over the other Zerg player.
Right. If Johnny loses this base, it will be tough to come back from this.
Yeah, the nuke is gone and SCVs are dying, and it's just so much red. I think his natural might soon be ± halfway there, but it's a tied up series, as of course you don't want to GG too early. You want to fight, lift up your command center, land at 6 o'clock, rebuild your base.
But here's a GG.
GG. That's a pretty early GG. That is giving up. That is giving up. Okay, so that's a good series from Hysup and Nublish, coming back from 1-0 down. I think they understood that if they just play normally, they have a big advantage. John recently came back to the 2v2 scene. He has been away for quite so long, and Zero doesn't play that much 2v2 as far as I understand. And Nublish and Hysup are playing 2v2 frequently, and they're on the NAS team, I think. So yeah, I think the experience helped them along the way in the series.
Yeah, those are very solid games, and I really enjoyed watching them. So are we gonna have a little break, or are we gonna forward?
Short bathroom break.
I think that sounds good.
Okay, I'm not sure if they can hear us, but a few minutes break. Yep.
Okay, we're back after a short break. Thanks for everyone still watching this. Just wanted to make another brief announcement before we go ahead with the next set of games. This match and 2v2 Pro League is run by Zero and sponsored by Han and Trovo. It's really a blessing for some of us, some 2v2 players like me, to be able to cast and watch and see so many players interested in this. So please keep up with your support. We'll try to create another season of 2v2 Pro League if we get enough people interested and loving this 2v2 scene. So thank you for being here today, and we'll move on to the games. So the players in the next matchup are Suzuki and Bonith versus the opponents Jiren, or more well known as Babo, and Ultra. So exciting matchups ahead. So please stay tuned. Okay. Medino, would you like to introduce the players?
Yeah, we are back to Kyocera's. And the top left we have Jiren, as Lei said, most formally known as Babo. So I hope you don't get angry at us for calling him Babo sometimes, because that's how I know him the best. And we have his ally at 6 o'clock as the Terran, the navy green Terran, Ultra from Chile. And we have at bottom right, we have the undisputed heavyweight champion Bonnet playing as the Red Products. And in the top 12 location we have Siki, now better known as Cheeky, because I saw he has a webcam on his stream, and I think it's about time he renewed his picture on BSL. And he's opening with Nightfall. Unfortunate that his larva came in the way. And you can see Babo is optioning to opening. It seems like a 12 pull. And now it's going to be interesting to see how Jiren and Ultra decide to play TC versus Siki and Bonnet's Products and Zerg, because I think they are facing a difficult challenge opponent-wise. Siki and Bonnet are both strong players. Siki enjoys killing Terrans, so does Bonnet. So we'll see what happens. See, Ultra is going for attack play. From my experience playing versus Babo, it's been a while since we played, but he likes to make a lot of Zerglings early on, and often when you think, okay, he's not making more Zerglings, he makes more Zerglings and do extremely a lot of damage, and his ability to survive is probably one of the strongest in the 2v2 scene. Because of his ability to make a good SimCity. So often he can hold off an overwhelming force of units. And this is an interesting wall from Ultra, because last game we saw Jonik option to make very few walls, and I am not 100% sure this is linked tight. I think there is a gap above the factory. I'm not 100% sure, but we will find out soon enough. I think.
Moment of truth.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks tight. It's nice. And you can see the Marines are also spawning inside the main, so this is a pretty nice mech wall. I was curious what he was going to open with, since his first blade wall was in his main. Other than that, the map or the game seems to be quite normal. The red team is trying to poke a little bit at the Zerg to see what he's doing. not to let him get away with any greedy openings, cutting lanes to get drones. But you can see Jiren is on top of it. He already has his seconds ready. He has 8 drones mining minerals and 1 on the gas just for future mutas. And it looks like Siki, he didn't make that many Zerglings. He lost a few at Taram, but he doesn't have the speed, therefore he has the faster lair and he also has the faster Spire. Yeah, it seems Jiren knows about it because of his overlord, so he's sending us home now to save it. But Siki is already on top of it, he's chasing down that overlord. And here you can see a different cannon placement style than Zergboy did. This is also very good placement.
So it looks like Ultra's going for a factory tech. So 3 factories, some vultures on the way. Do we see an add-on or not yet?
I think he had a spinning, just finished, so
Just
it's mines.
Okay.
So let's see, we have pretty much the same game that when Janek opened with mines. But you can see Siki is already on top of it because he has an overlord with Prowess player. So if the Prowess player is going for Dragoons, he could pick up those mines fairly easy.
That was a pretty flawless spore timing.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
And here you can see Jiren's ability to place the spores because he's probably played this map so many times. And just when I say that, Siki finds the vulnerable spot and picks up 2 drones. And forces Jiren to make more spores, because usually you just want to defend your mineral line with 2 spores. That's the maximum. And as long as the game prolongs, you want to add more spores because you will have less mutas than the other Zerg. And the other Zerg usually have second gas by that time. So this muta harassment from Siki was quite nice. He slowed down his Bob was down to 10 drones and forced another spore.
Oh, that's a interesting choice. He's going with Reaver Tech.
Yeah, I think they know about the mines, and Bonnet likes to go for the Dragoon Reaver style that he uses a lot in his 1 versus 1 games. It's a style he's very good at.
Yeah, and this one has a short air distance, so if played correctly, the Reaver or any other unit drops could do a fair amount of damage with the Mutalisk.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier in the game, that the drop distance is really short. And since Ultra did mines first, I don't think his range is quite done yet. It might be, I'm not 100% sure. But you will have to need range and then target down the shuttle as fast as you can. You can see Siki still doesn't have speed links, so now he's moving out his Zerglings to get map awareness. And let's see. It's a good spread from Ultra, picking down the shuttle. Taking down the... But so many mutas left. 7, 3. I think this was a good hold from okay, 8. It's a good hold from Ultra, taking not that much damage, losing 8 Goliaths but no SCVs.
Right, and he took down a shuttle and the Reaver, so I think that was a decent defense.
Yeah, and Jiren will soon be on the map with mutas as well. He has saved up 900 gas, so he will start pumping up mutas, and then he can help Ultra defending versus the Reaver and the Dragoons. Here you can see he knows that Seeky's been making non-stop mutas, so he made additional spores so he doesn't die too.
Nice snipes.
Yeah, 3 drones for 1 muta. And the blue team still doesn't know about Seeky's 3 o'clock expansion. And now Bonnet has an expansion as well, making more shuttles and reavers. So he has observers as well, so the mines are no longer a threat.
What are your thoughts on continuously making reavers? You think they're going to be a big role in this game?
I think when you're Bonnet, you shouldn't be needing to make any other units. One reaver is enough. But yeah, I think you don't need Templar or DTs when you already have the reaver tech with the speed. And alongside with the mutas, you can do so much damage because you are so mobile with the mutas and the speed shuttle. And you can pretty much land wherever you want in the Zerg base and take down the spores, because Seeky will have an overwhelming amount of mutas with the upgrade advantage. So yeah, Reaver is definitely the play to go, but this is versus I think some of the games can be laggy and it can be harder to control the Reaver. Some of the shots will miss. But Bonnet knows what he's doing. And you can see here it's 6 Dragoons and 1 Reaver, and 20 Goliaths cannot move down the ramp. He will need help from Jiren, but Seeky is controlling that area. And since he have the muta advantage and the upgrade advantage, it's nowhere way near for Babu to fly down and help him.
Oh!
That's a good pickup. Pickup. And Jiren, even you can see there's a close distance between the 2 Zerg players, but Seeky is having some Scourgers on patrol, and I think he has maybe 2 groups of muta, so he can move around on the map with 1 group and have 1 group at home, and still be able to contain Jiren's mutas, because he have the second gas advantage. Now we have Ultras on the map right now. I think you can see Babu has quite a lot of units as well, because he's almost tied up with Ultra in number of supplies.
He also has a few, he only has 13 drones, but he's like pumping out a lot of units. So it's kudos for him. I was wondering, once he had 11 Mutalists, he was gonna try to evade the Suzuki's Mutalists and try to sneak out, but he's been staying on his base for now.
Yeah, I think he tried at one point, because Suzuki has 2 gas, he sat at home waiting to split some mutas and some Scourgers. So. And he was never that far away from his own main. He was roaming around at 9 o'clock area, trying to catch Babu's mutas if he was going to help Ultra. So he was cutting off Babu's units the entire time. And you can see now Babu went from 13 drones to 5 because of this harassment.
Yeah, this is a very favorable kind of lineup of opponents when Zerg versus Zerg and Terran versus Protoss is exactly what the Zerg Protoss team wants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they really needed to combine their units at some point in the center to for Zerg Terran team to have some power on the map. But I think that timing has passed a little bit, and I think that attack on Jiren was pretty deadly. He's not going to have any more mutas for a while.
Oh,
And I think Bonnet
he
is big.
GG. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the red team was controlling the middle for the entire game, and they knew if Babo was trying to move out, and they saw if Ultra was trying to move out. So I think they were pretty much in control the entire game. There wasn't really like a dangerous moment for the red team, because I felt like the blue team was never really on the map without the red team denying them.
Right. I think they had their shot once Jiren had around 9 to 11 mutas. That was a time when he could have snuck out, killed the Reaver, and then that's when they push out and at least like eliminate the 3 o'clock base of Suzuki, and then the game becomes more level and it's playable. But yeah, but regardless, it was a good game showing the dynamics. So, are we ready for our game? Okay. So, this map is Allegro. We've seen a couple of matchups on this map, so it must be that some of these players really like this. But here we go. So would you like to do the introductions?
Yeah, I can do it. At the top left corner, we have Jiren playing as the blue Zerg and his ally. Bottom left, as the blue Terran, we have Ultra. And then bottom right, we have Siki playing as the red Zerg. And the top right, we have Bonnet playing as the not sure which color he is, but he is red. Yeah.
It's a nice left versus right.
Yeah, it is. It's left versus right. That's actually a fun scenario when you're playing 2 versus 2 and melee maps. You don't know the teams. You just say we are left, we are bottom, and then you start playing. But I'm actually surprised again that the Terran and Zerg team pick such a big map, because I feel Terran and Zerg has a more advantage on playing on Python. You have a less smaller map.
Yeah, I understand your logic. It's like the faster you can kind of travel to the other side, I think you give less time for Zerg Protoss to secure their bases. And looks like Ultra is going tech again.
Yeah, he's going tech. I was hoping he would option to go Marines this time.
Right.
Maybe he feel more confident playing tech, because Ultra has played Bonnet a lot of times on the ladder and whatnot, so he knows how deadly Bonnet will be versus Terran. And mech units are stronger than Marines, but and I'm a little bit surprised as well, because we have been seeing in all the series we've been watching so far, we've seen the same maps being picked every time. We have yet to see Reverse Temple, Python, Gemlong, some other maps that might be favorable for Terran.
Right. Is Reverse Temple where you have like reverse ramp, you have to go up?
Yeah, so it might not be favorable for the Terran team. if you get cannoned on the top of the ramp, yeah. But again, I see Ultra he's been practicing walls on this map, because he make that wall differently than I would do it. I would have placed the supply depot slightly above the barrack, and then the barrack underneath that, and then the second barrack or the factory on the right side. But this works as well. There's no holes in it, so it's a good addition. And here you can see Jiren has been he's knocked out 8 links, and it doesn't seem like the red team knows about them. But Siki, he skipped speed again, and the door is open at Bonnet.
Oh, this can be big.
Yeah. Does Siki have speed? It looks. Yeah, he has speed. So okay, the pylon will go down. Reaction time from Siki. He already turned around on the map. Let's see. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, BroodWar is really a counting game, right? You see how many units they have, you see how many units you have.
Yeah, I remember playing Bonnet 1 versus 1. This is many years ago, and I think I killed with my vultures like 20 probes or something, and I was like, yeah, you're doomed. And then 4 minutes later he came out with 4 carriers and killed me. So I was like, how? So yeah, it's a counting game, but as soon as you count 4 carriers, you stop counting and type GG.
Yeah.
And see Ultra, he went for mines again, and he has a good micro from both teams. Siki doing the best he can to do as much damage as he can. Okay, mutas are out. I see 3 mutas are coming to help. This is good blocking from Bonnet. We need to kill that cannon. The vulture died. Do we have more mornings? It's good drilling from Bonnet and good rescue from Siki. We got another probe down to 9. This was really close because now Bonnet had the money to make a cannon, and I think Siki, he would just sit at home with Bonnet till that cannon is finished, and Ultras Goliaths can't really do that much.
Yeah, but those 8 or 10 links that snuck out, I think that really tilted the game a little bit. So
yeah, it was so close, and I was quite surprised I didn't actually see the links coming out, because Siki did 9-pull, so he should have seen it or been there.
Oh, I think this is a mistake by Ultra. I think they just need to just gather a few more Goliaths, maybe 12 or 14, and then get some lings, and either one, you know, you can bust open probably with those mass.
Yeah, I think you're right. There might have been option to try on all-in, save up to, like you said, 12 or 14 Goliaths, mass ling, and just try to break Bonnet's space.
Because Bonnet doesn't have the eco to cannon both rams and make units, so he's on a thin rope right now.
Yeah, you can see he knows they're trying to push pressure him because the amount of probes they lost, but and that's why he's not making a second cannon down at Zerg, because they don't really need it right now. But it's I think the blue team is in a hard position, but the game is. There you see.
I never noticed that.
Terran players are always on the display, you know. You know, it takes 15 seconds to make a marine, and then you have Tracy's whorehouse down in the corner there. 15 seconds of pleasure for the Protoss player. But if we rewind 2 minutes, Jiren was at 6 drones. He's up to 15 now, and he has his lair coming. Yeah, making a additional spore. And here you can see Jiren's ability to make a good SimCity, because he's securing his main and he also has secured the ramp, because his second hatch was in the main, but he already had control on the ramp, and the blue team knows that there's no danger of dragoons popping up soon, but they don't really know what Bonnet's tech is. They don't know if he has established and have DTs, or because all of the mines are cleared. But I think I heard a scan, so okay. They know it's not DT. They know, yeah. They saw, now it's Reaver. And the thing about playing Mac, I also like playing Mac, but it leaves you this window. Siki knows how to exploit it, because you can't really afford getting an engineering bay, pumping out turrets. You have 4, 5, 6 turrets standing in your main, because as soon as Siki's +1 kicks in, he will just kill each one-on-one turret, and you have to move back. So that's why I like the option. You go to Marine play, and you will have the vessel as defense versus the Mutas.
Right, I do see more Marina medic plays. Looks like there's some action happening at 5 o'clock. Oh, they have to be careful here. If they lose those zealots and get caught in a bad position, they could be busted open here.
Yeah, you're right. And you saw Ultra was already on top of that, because he was trying to catch the Mutas as they were returning back home. So I think he got a Muta or 2. Yeah, almost 2.
2 Reavers on the way.
Doesn't seem he's not made speed yet, and it's not on the way. But let's see, now they see the shuttle. Let's see now if he's deciding to protect Siki's base, or if they want to move in Ultra's main. And 10 Goliaths are already waiting. Ooh. It's so close. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so
I think he got it. Oh, so close.
That's unfortunate. If they caught that shuttle, I would say the game was over. That's so much minerals stacked up in one slow moving unit. Yeah, but all players now seem to have a fairly healthy economy. Bonnet re-established his pro count, Ultra got a base, Jiren got a healthy drone account for 1 base only. I see he's taking the 9 o'clock base. I think Siki might see it if we start mining that. Let's see, we have a big engagement right now. Bobo needs to get... Yeah, and then here he needs to get the reavers. Shuttle goes down. Can I get a second reaver? Can I get a second? Yeah.
Big battle here. Ooh. Can they hold? Wow, that's a very good hold.
Sunken's coming down.
Yeah.
It's a huge. That was so close. And if you look at Ultra, he's pumping out so much units right now. He has a huge SCV count. He has a huge unit account. Then again, I think Siki has 1-1 on his Muta. So if they try to push down if Ultra goes with his Goliaths and Siege tank, I think Siki will dive on the tanks and wait for Bonnet to help him with either Dragoons or a Reaver.
Right, that will be their best move.
Yeah, because when he has, like, Ultra only has +1 attack on his Goliaths, and that even outs the Carpus, so neither one deals more damage or take more damage than the other. But Siki has +1, so he will two-shot the siege tanks with a group of mutas. And still he won't take that much damage from the Goliaths. But I like the blue team's position. Bonnet is still on one base. And Ultra is doing great. They have map vision. And he's keeping up because Ultra is an experienced 1 versus 1 player, so he knows the value of having good saturated bases with enough SCVs. So he has a decent count. At one point we will have to stop and just pump out units. There is a thing called over probing, over mining, over SCVing, over droning, whatever you want to call it. But to get the good timings, you will have to stop and just say, I have enough unit workers. Let's pump up units.
Yeah, it's just like life, you know. You can put as much in your bank, but if you die before, you can spend it all.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I go spend all your money, die with a mortgage. Extra loan on your house, go all in. Place everything on red on the keno or on the roulette. But Ultra has a big unit ball. Okay, this let's see. That's 16 mutas or something, 2 reavers. Splash damage on the society balls. Dragging down the shuttle. Shuttle goes down. Reavers. Okay. Dealt less damage than I thought. And he has his 3rd base up. Yeah, and the red team, they know about the 9 o'clock base, but they can't really deal any damage to it because Ultra is so close by, so he will be a second away to rescue it.
Yeah, I noticed this is a very macro heavy game. I guess my playstyle is a little bit like just simple. It's like, okay, I have more than them, you know, and then just like bust them open, finish the game. But I was surprised when Jiren went layers instead of pumping links. Maybe he just didn't want to go all in and then get blocked somehow and then somehow be behind. But yeah, this turns out to be a pretty big like mid to end game. I think he might be moving out soon though. Yeah, this big Terran army.
Yeah, it's so big, and the Pravas don't really have much more than Reavers. I have not seen any High Templar tech yet, and I think you have to need that right now because Ultra is so huge. I don't know if Bonnet upgraded extra splash damage on his Reavers. No. But then again, it's Bonnet Reavers, so let's see. Few lights gone. Bonnet always has the ability to connect his Scarab, and just look how close he is to the siege tanks without taking damage. He just sits there, buying time.
Oh, those are great trades! Wow.
And he had what? 30 Goliaths. And 7 siege, and now we have 7 siege and 7 Goliaths. So that's a great trade. It's really close. It's really close. I think Siki has a slight upgrade advantage because he has the +2 carapace. Ah, the shuttle died. No!
Oh,
I think he could have targeted the river right there.
right.
But the shuttle died, and yeah, I've not seen a starport or science facility from the Terran player.
Oh, but
And
this is
look at
a
this.
good
Yeah.
engagement.
Bonnet was targeting the Goliath. Oh, I think Bobo just had enough mutas to hold it, but he targeted the Goliaths to reduce the damage to the mutas. But yeah, I think Ultra is slightly falling behind because he doesn't have the science facility, and then he doesn't have the ability to either make vessels or the +2 attack damage. Ooh. 81. Oh, they're already muted. Yeah, I think the scan saw the mutas, and Bobo is picking the correct fight instead of fighting over cannons and dragon.
Oh, wow.
This is such a close game.
Yeah.
I think both teams have done a phenomenal job, both keeping up the pressure, keeping up the unit count, in spite of the amount of pressure both teams have dealt to each other. Ziki Jiren will soon be on 3 bases, while Ziki will be just at 1. But now it starts to get a bit dangerous because the melee storm is ready. We see some high Templars. Oh! Didn't shoot. It's the first time I see Bonnet miss a shot. He must be drunk. Yeah, as you can see, Bonnet's base is almost mined out. So if he loses his base, he will be back to 1 base. And I think it's smart from Jiren and Ultra. They played cautiously right here. They know they're in a good position. And they're just pushing slow. They know they have a tight area.
Ooh.
Fading.
Oh, no.
That's so unlucky. That's a good zone. But look at the amount of mutas Jiren has right now. GG.
Wow, GG.
So great game from both players. I thought it was over when Bobo had 8 links, 10 links in Bonnet's base. But they made a great comeback, and yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah, well, actually, they had the advantage and just they just enjoyed the other team just suffering the entire game.
Yeah, it was like hitting the continue button after beating your opponent and just erase their entire base. They were just on first gear the entire game. Let's go.
Okay, so we have the last game of the set, and it will be on Vermeer. Let's get to it. Both teams are tied. They're 1-1. So this will be our final match for the set. Up at 11 o'clock we have Suzuki, a white Zerg, and his ally we have red Protoss, Bonnet. Up in the 1 o'clock region we have Ultra, purple Terran, and his ally Jiren at 7 o'clock. Now they're in cross spawn positions, so and that is different than the past 2 games where they're both on split left and right. So I wonder if they're gonna choose any different openings because of that. Suzuki is supposedly going 9 pool, and Jiren has created an overlord, so either an overpool, 12 pool, or 12 hatchery. So 9 pool from Suzuki.
Yeah, we see a 9 pool from Siki, and I think we're going to see a 12 pool from Jiren. He has a good position because he's close to the ramp, so he can easily push one creep out and be safe. Let's see if we can see a gas from Ultra, or if it's going to be Marines this game.
I think I saw a second Rex.
It's gas, my friend.
Oh, it's gas. I was looking at Bonnet.
But again, it seems like Foxen told the players or something, yeah, you have a big map pool, but you only can choose between 2 maps. And the interesting thing is that we have been tied up for every series we've been watching so far. So I think the matches have been even. There's no like clear favorite in each game. So that's quite nice. I think you can see the red team is moving out quite fast. I'm not sure if... Yeah, it seems like Siki went there first. Oh! That is a big kill.
Now it's as if he went over pool.
Yeah. Take one step back. 100% sure why. This is going to be tough. I'm not sure why Babo didn't make his second hatchery on the cliff and then just have the safe sunken behind it. I'm not sure about that decision, but in previous games it seems like he likes to put his second hatchery in his main because of his ability to make a good SimCity. It's a good hold. It's a good hold from Babo. And you can see Bonnet, he decides it's not worth pushing up his 2 additional zealots. So he just sits on the ramp and then make sure Babo can't move around on the map.
And I think we are seeing either a mine or a speed upgrade coming from Ultra.
Yeah,
Mine.
it might look like he's trying to replica the previous game, doing the same build because they felt confident doing that. But in this game, they haven't dealt that damage to either of the players, nor the Zerg nor the Pros players. So we'll have to see how much damage the mines can do this time.
Oh. 2 hits. Ah, there you go.
It's good micro from both players. He picked up, I don't know, 4 links or something, but yeah. And if you just excuse me 1 second, Leia, I just have to run to the bathroom.
You must have had one too many drinks. So I think losing that vulture, not only is it just 1 vulture, those are 3 mines, so that was a big pickoff for Suzuki. Looks like Bonnet is going robotics facility again. So Mutalis should be on the way. Picks off an Overlord. Spores are ready at Bonnet. And I think that's probably the range upgrade, I presume. Okay, and +1 attack is on the way. Now, typically, from the games I've seen the most, I see the Zerg and the Zerg Terran team go mass slings, and have like a very good map vision by having burrowlings and denying expos while the Terran gets quite big, and basically making Protoss irrelevant in the game. So that's the goal. But it looks like Jiren prefers getting his macro up and going lair. Those tactics worked last game. Let's see if that works again. Those 3 Goliaths might not survive. Oh, just picked off one.
What is Bonnet's tech this game? Is he... yeah,
It's a Robo. Yeah.
Ops and Reaver, yeah. Yeah, and this time I think Babo's Mura timings, I'm not sure, but it's a bit slower than the last game, so he doesn't really have the support to defend Muras and Reavers at this time. And yeah, you can see the Goliaths and the Lynx are moving across the map. I think somehow they know the Reaver is coming. And the Vulture's already in place to take the first shot. Yeah. One lane. Right now you should think the shuttle is... yeah.
The time has come.
Yeah. That was a big pickup of the blue team. The red team didn't really connect. The Mutas wasn't able to come down and support the Reaver. But we see an additional Reaver being made. It's a bit similar this game as the last game. I think the game will be a little bit different when Jiren gets his Muras out, because then the shuttle will not be as dangerous as earlier, because you will have the Ling and Mura support, but this is the big moment though. You have the Goliaths, they're isolated. Using the ramp advantage. It's good. And you can see neither of the players went for a second base yet. Bonnet is going heavy on the Dragoon Reaper build. I think that's one of the big differences between 1 versus 1 and 2 versus 2 players, is that as a 1 versus 1 player you are used to have a lot of bases, you can produce more units even quicker. But I think 2 versus 2 players are more micro orientated than the 1 versus 1 players, which makes a scary duo in Ziki and Bonnet, which do both. Low eco, big micro. Because you can see there's no reason to take a second base. It's only 10 minutes into the game, you have a healthy base and you have a lot of units.
Oh.
What? What?
Do we think that was intentional? It
Yeah,
must have been.
Yeah, looked like it. The Reaver was like, well, I gotta shoot somewhere. That was a shot in the dark.
Oh, there's another Scarab that went north.
Yeah, you're not gonna finish that command center today. Not on my watch. Jiren actually had a slight Muta advantage for a second there, but that was a big volley from Masiki's Mutas. And again, it just shows when you have the upgrade advantage how much it matters.
Yeah, he probably has a 1-1 upgrade at this point.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is tough game for Jiren and Ultra. Not only did they start a little behind because of the aggression earlier at Jiren, I think having those Goliaths kind of eaten away by goons and Muta combo now really puts them far behind.
Yeah, you're right.
The time it took for Jiren to get his Mutas out was the time that he didn't really have any Ling support. So that's when they kind of started getting a little behind in terms of unit count, and now they gotta do something else. Combine and push out and at least get rid of those pesky shuttles. But oh, those SCVs are ready to be eaten.
Yeah, and Bond he finds the weakness. If you have a slight misplaced turret or something which cannot reach your shuttle, he will just take advantage of that and yeah, punish you. As you can see, I think Bonnet and Siki kind of agreed. I'm not sure if they're on TeamSpeak or whatnot, but they definitely agreed before this game that if they take advantage, Bonnet will go Pralos versus Terran, keep him at home, and Siki with his advantage will just go Zerg versus Zerg, because right now he has the base advantage, he has more gas, he has upgrade advantages. He has Overlord fairly spread out on the map, so they have a decent map control to control Jiren's links. So yeah, they're just being patient and wait for the blue team to move out and make an overstep.
Yeah, ZVZ kind of match up here. There's no way you can overcome two base mutas that have better upgrades than you. So if this just flows the way it does right now, it will be a tough game for Jiren and Ultra.
Yeah, and Siki he hasn't been losing that big of a number of mutas this game as well, because Terran is Mac heavy, so he doesn't have that splash damage in the irradiates, as you saw Jonek using earlier in those games.
Right.
But now we have a Dark Archon. Let's see if Bonnet can hit his melee storm this game. I think it's. I wanna ask Bonnet sometime, because he definitely have had the eco to make the speed shuttle, which he normally do, but this game he optioned not to make the speed shuttle. And I think speed shuttle is that the fastest unit in the game, or is it speed scout or vulture? Which one is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the exact answer to that.
But I do know you do not want a slow shuttle. That's the response. You do not want a slow shuttle.
That's right. I think in this game, really what deals the damage is the key player is the Dragoon count. So I think he might have just skipped shuttle speed, just to like keep his shuttle behind this Dragoon, but to really pump out goons and get that expo faster.
Yeah,
That might
you're
have been his
right.
thought. Oh, that's a well.
Because his Bonnet is almost on his 4th base, so you can see how quickly he can expand from taking his naturals and then just suddenly explode, because they have so much map presence, so they can do whatever they want. Basically, they can be greedy. They can also be maxing out their units on 2 base because they are so far ahead. But this time, I think I saw a science facility at Ultra Space. This time, no. So you can see the 1-1 upgrade. It doesn't do it versus third products because you wanted that 2-1 upgrade. Ooh, oh. Catching every Mira. Yeah, GG.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, GG. Ultra was considering making an attempt of 2 versus 1. Then he realized who he was up against. And Bonnet and Siki moves on to the next stage in the winner brackets.
So, unfortunately, I won't be for the last part of today's set of games. I do have to head out, but we will be having our final set of games, which is the losers bracket matchup between Jiren and Ultra and their contenders. So, Madinho, will you be taking on the baton and finishing up this series?
Yeah, I'll do my best. I'll do my best, or my worst. We'll see. Yeah, no, I'm good to go. I'm good to go.
Okay. Yeah, thanks so much for having me, and thank you all the fans for support. It was really fun. Thanks Medino and Zero for holding down the fort today.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you see you next time.
Yep. See ya. Bye.
See you. And then we have our final series for the day. That will be Andy and Surboy versus Jiren and Ultra. Yeah. Wave needs to. So we will have. Is it another TC versus PC? Yeah, let's go. And we have Fighting Spirit as the first. No, Vermeer. Sorry, Vermeer. And we have in the top. Fighting Spirit. I was distracted by the name. In the top right corner, we have Wave playing as the yellow product. And we have his ally in the bottom left corner playing as the black Zerg, Isu. And their opponents are Ultra in the top left corner playing as the purple terror color, which he likes. And in the bottom right we have Jiren playing as the red Zerg on Fighting Spirit. So let's see, this will be our... Yeah, it's been a lot of Zerg versus Terran Zerg today, I think. Oh yeah, every matchup has been TC versus PC. And it looks like Wave is opening with a 9 gate. Not sure if that was intentional or he just forgot to make an extra probe while waiting. Itsu is opening with an overpull. And we have Babo making a 12 pull, most likely. Yeah. And again, I hope we see Marines from Ultra this time. Oh. I've seen Ultra doing a lot of marine bolts in his 1 versus 1. So I don't know which he prefers to play. Like normally you don't play marines when you play Terran versus Protoss, but in the combo PC you can option to do it. Now you can see Wave doing his Protoss job. The Protoss job, especially when Jiren has this position, you want to deny his. Oh, that's unlucky from Wave. But Babo gets that hatchery in a good placement because now he can make a sunken to the left or his right of the gas, and he can protect that hatchery. Yeah, you can see he's trying to place it at the left. But Wave is still doing a good job, annoying, bugging that drone, keeping it away from building, which will give the Protoss and the Zerg team the option to block him earlier. And now Babo is forced to retreat to his ramp. They're still waiting. I think they're waiting for the second and the third zealot. Yeah. And you can see Babo has a good vision with his overlord, so he knows exactly how many is coming and what he needs to hold his ramp. But yeah, now. Ooh, they want to punish it. First cell dies, second dies. Speed kicks in for Isu. 1 sunken. Yeah, it would be close. I think that's a good decision from the blue team. I'm not sure if they know what Ultra is doing. If it's going tech or if it's going vultures. And this time I hope it's making speed vultures and not. This is a good hold from Babo. He can run down the ramp now and take control of the map. Wave starting his gas. Vultures on the map. I'm not sure if Wave meant to trade links or try. He should have come behind the vultures and tried to take him off, but it looks like they are going. Yeah, mites. Blocking in the Protoss player. See, we have mutants on the way, plus 1 Carpus. Babo making the spores he needs to survive. Yeah, so it's an open game. I think Wave cannot move around on the map yet because he doesn't have any vision. There's no overlord from the Zerg player, and I think Ultra realized that, so he feels confident to come out and try to save his overlord. That's a good trade from Itsu. Take down. See, I'm not sure if Wave means +1 Zerglings or +1 attack from Ultra. Ah, it's +1. Okay, it's a good call. I'm not sure how they. Okay, maybe okay. I'm not sure what the blue team are going to use that information for, because it's quite normal for the Terran player to get +1 attack. Looks like it's Lagoon range. Battery sheet. Oh, a battery sheet. It looked like a battery sheet. Okay, Dragoons. Well, there's a lot of mines on the map. I'm not sure how many vultures Ultra made. Well, at least 2 or 3. But we have mutas from Itsu on the map trying to control Zerglings from moving out. I think Babo is just making sure he's not dying to anything Zerg all in because they have the map presence, so they will see if Pradas is on the way. So far, no more gas from Jiren. Just making. It doesn't really have that many links. 12 links. But I think that number will explode soon, and it looks like the blue team kinda knows they are all in. All in-ish. Yeah. Wave kinda wanna be ahead. So Itsu could make like a panic hatchery or something if they decide to go all in on him. Oh. I heard a mine triggered. I'm not sure that was the link from Itsu. Could be. Ah, it was a mine placing. They have a good SimCity at Zerg, so I think it would be slight hard for the red team to bust it. +1 attack is done for the Zerg. They know what's going on. It's the siege. I think Itsu has +1 Carpus, yeah, so he can. Ooh, that's a big mine. Wave wants the Lord, but it's gonna take some time. The mines are well placed, and it's gonna take them quite some time to move across the map. He's also making additional mines. Let's see, this is going to... okay. It's not often you see that the Terran Zerg players are this in control of the map. But it could be. It depends which style you prefer to play. Master Goons is fairly easy to counter because you don't have any other attack, you don't have the Reaver, you don't have the mobility as in DTs and stuff like that. This is good for Mitsu, cutting down the Goliath, forcing Ultra to return. Can do some additional. I think Itsu could have been a little bit more greedy there. Add some additional damage. It won't be long now until Babo is making mutas as well, and then. Every mine connect. That's. Yeah, he saw that. Yeah. The red team is playing fairly sneaky here. You can see on the minimap that the red team is quite in control. They know what is happening. Ultra's been making units since the day he was born, so he has a strong unit composition. 1, 2, 3, 4 SVs. Yeah, it's a decent trade. Wave is already at 1-1 upgrade, so that makes his units quite strong. But those mines on the map, I think they will deal quite an amount of damage. So Wave is sending out his salads to buffer the 4 mines. Let's see, there's a lot. The allow links and the +1 links is causing so much damage. And here's what I mentioned earlier, that when you think Babo stopped making links, he surprised you with an extra 20 links, and you're like, which sane person make this many links? Not sane, insane. And yes, barrel links, yeah, they see the entire map. DT is out, but I think, yeah, we have Scan, I think. Ultra's been making Scan the entire time. Scan on the way, yeah. Still some good harassment from Mitsu, cutting down some, yeah, turrets in place. It's close, you can see both teams are even in supply. Just a few moments ago, Jiren was way ahead. Sorry, Ultra. But Itsu making good advantage of having that extra gas. Pradas is being so much harassing. He's struggling to get the base down. And it can be hard for Blue Zerg to move across the map and help him defend the map, because you don't really know where the Goliaths will be. And you can see Itsu nearly doubled in supply of wave, which is never a good thing. But Itsu has +2 carapace, so his mutas are pretty strong versus the Terran army. Wave is almost running out of minerals in his main, and he's desperately needing that expansion. But now there's a new Zergling on his natural, so, and I don't think there's an Overlord there anymore, and he doesn't have Observer. So he can't place down the Nexus. It's a huge fight going down in the middle of the map. Goliath's chasing down the mutas. He has to remake the cannon. It's just been doing a good job picking down the units one by one, killing them up. Siege tanks out on the map. Still no base for Jiren, he's taking one now. Still no base for Wave, and he's almost mined out in his main. So you can see in the minimap there's very few mineral patches left. Yeah. Oh, a good storm. Not so great the second one, but it's taking. If he can regenerate, yeah, he has two new storms right now. It's important that they connect. Needs to have a lot of mutas. Storm. Needs to have been doing a good job at keeping Babu at bay. I think maybe at one point that's a huge mine. And remember, that mine has been in the map for 15 minutes. It's insane. Vultures, man, it's the best unit in the game. Whoever said it was carriers, obviously drunk. It's vultures. I spoke to Blizzard the other day and they told me they're gonna make vultures shoot upwards in the next patch, so it's gonna be great. Babo doing a great job with a few numbers of mutas and really harassing the Pros player, and once again his base is dead and you can see he has no longer any income. It's a good storm, also good dodge from Ultra, very good dodge. I think maybe Itsu can just dive on this because you have the superior number of mutas. But this game is so close. Pick up the siege. Yeah. It's a good pick up, but I don't know. I feel like maybe if blue team had communicated a little bit better and Wave might have said, help me defend my base, it could have been a totally different game. But right now it's Isu versus 2. And Isu has been on a low eco the entire game. He's still on 2 hatch. He's not had many bronze mining on the natural base. But he does have 1 Muta with 12 kills, so I guess that's worth something. And Itsu is almost mined out in the main as well. Bob was almost mined out. It's, yeah, pretty much everyone is on 1 base except Wave, who's on a half base. But I'm not sure. Let's see. He's struggling with his income. I think maybe Wave should have saved up for 1 Dark Archon. Then he would have been able to support himself, because he needs to have enough to control the Terran player right now because of the upgrade advantage. And yet again, I don't think, we're not, there's a starport. There's a starport. Ooh, come on, Itsu. Can we save 1? 1 die, 2. No, what? Only 1 die? That's a good save, But yeah, I think Ultra could have been stronger in this game if he had starport a little bit faster. You know, starport, you won't have units, but if you think about it, cutting 1 siege tanks, you have a starport. Cutting 2 siege tanks, you have a starport and a science facility. Then you have 1 step closer of having better upgrades. Here we have some brave High Templars moving around on the map. The blue team still doesn't have much map vision, so they don't really know where the Terran army is. And again, Bob is doing a great job harassing the Frost player. But let's see. I think each Templar at least have 2 storms. Almost. That's a good storm. That's a good storm. But there's a lot of mines. There's a lot of mines. Not a lot of mutas. Oh, it's a good storm. That's a lot. Oh. I think they overstepped a little bit, yeah. Bobo doing a good job. So, it's close. Close. Very close. Itsu doing some great job here, fighting 2 versus 1. Did not expect that. Still making mines. Ultra even has a decent bank. Babo have about 300 minerals left in his main. Ultra is nowhere near running out yet. And now they scouted the third base. Let's see. He has he has 5 spores on his ramp, 4 in his 5 in his 10 spores. So Itsu could never kill the Zerg player. So they know if Itsu jump on the Zerg player to try to kill him, Ultra can just go and kill the base. He will lose so many mutas. And it's only a matter of seconds before we have a vessel or +2 attack. Yeah, we have the vessel out. Just spawned. And we will have irradiate soon. Yeah, but it's been so close the entire game, and I think if Wave just got that base up, the game would have been over. But the red team has been doing a good job denying him getting that base. And Babo, he actually realized he don't really need that base. He have enough mutas to just attack, pick his fight, move around, take a stab, turn around. And now we have Ultra on his third base. I think he forgot. I saw Ultra having a command center in his main. I think he forgot about it. Look, you can see the minimap. The entire game they've been controlling the map. They've seen everything. It's hard to block it. You will have to have overlords or observers or whatnot. But burrow links are very good. And I'm not sure if Itsu is on 2-2 mutas. Might be, yeah. And he's nowhere close to Hive upgrade, and yeah, he now realized he had an extra one. Well, he could have floated that one to the middle. I don't know. Babo with the distant mining. I don't know if... I think maybe Itsu should have made Speed Lords to help clear out the mines and for Wave to take his base. Right now Wave just sits in his ramp with 3 or 4 Templars, but he has no possibility to move out from his base. He's stuck. I think when 2 vessels. Ooh, I think this is going to be it. Great radiate there. Yeah. Not so great radiate, but I think does he have +2 on his Goliaths? No, still not. Once again, Itsu takes down the fight. Should be a little bit careful on being over at our Archon. And here you can see Babo knowing he just needs those 11 mutas, so he can just attack as soon as he knows the mutas are away. Very, very close game, but I think Wave not getting second base was the main deal. And maybe not that easy in the cross spawn, because I think the Terran and the Zerg player are closer to the Protoss player than the Zerg player is to come and help. You can argue in the early game maybe they should have blocked Jiren earlier. They tried to trade a few sellouts for Zerglings, but I think in the end it was a bad move. Because if they had sellouts on the ramp, Wave could have taken the expansion much faster. But yeah. We are ready for the second game. Jiren and Ultra up 1-0, and the next map is Vermeer. Let's jump to it. And we have in the top left corner, we have Wave and his ally in the top right corner, Itsu, versus their opponents in the bottom right corner. We have Jiren playing Zerg, and we have the Terran player Ultra playing in the bottom left. And once again, we see they pick Vermeer, so I don't know, it would have been fun to pick their brains about their map choices, because most 2v2 players are most familiar with Python, Gamlan, especially since that's been the map pool on ShieldBattery for quite some time. I don't know, maybe they feel more comfortable on a big map which they know that Babo might not use a 9 pool, or yeah, they feel more comfortable. Let's see. Again, we see a 9 gate from Wave. So clearly they want to put down early pressure on the Zerg player and lock him down. Babo is playing it safe. He's opening with a 12 pull. And we can see Itsu is playing 9 pull this game. And again, Ultra is option for tackle play. I don't know if these players have any earlier relations, but I think if you expect Ultra to go mech, you either go fast Dragoons and go PvT, and then you go overpool, speedlings, lair, and go CVC and contain him as long as you can. But yeah, I'm not sure. They might have previous history. It's going to be two factories this game as well. He's not cutting SCVs on his gas. Looks like he's doing speed before there. Some interesting choices from the blue team. I'm not sure why they gather up at Terran player with the secure wall. But there's already an overlord at the red Zerg, so they see his link count and his sunken timing. But I hope they wait now and just delay him. Force another sunken from the Zerg player. Ooh, that's a dead zealot. Or freaking. Careful. Ooh. I think the blue team is a bit too, not greedy, but risky. They could have just contained. And while they contain the Zerg player, the blue Zerg can throw in a drone or two, because he don't need the same amount of Zerglings as the red Zerg. But yeah, I think the cannon seems to be finished in time on both places. still the same build. Mines. Ooh, that's a butcher dead, and 3 mines dead. That's good. Ultra realizing the danger and closes his wall. There's some. Ultra. No, Jiren has the Ling advantage. Now the red team has overtaken the map control, and Jiren can do a circle of drones. I think if they blocked Zerg a little bit earlier, Itsu could do a round of drones, and then his second hatchery would be a little bit faster. Right now we don't see a second. And again here we are missing. Oh, the old door is close to Prada's base, but it's at 9 o'clock, so he's still locked in with the mines. And we could see the armory or the forge was spinning for a +1 attack, so it might be speed sell-up timing. I think if Itsu put his mutas on hold on the top of the 9th and the 8th mineral, he would have to force out another spore colony. But this is like the things you see afterwards, you know, when you're in the moment you don't see him. Wave realizing he needs the Overlord. He's gonna try to move out a little bit with his zealots. Or take an earlier base perhaps. Yeah, he wants to take an earlier base. But the red team still has map presence, and I don't think they know. Okay, the swords. It's a good buffer for the butcher, or for the zealot. Painful. Even as a Terran player, it's painful to see when the mine connects. Itsu doing a great job. He's been doing good both these games, picking up Goliaths and keeping the unit count down for the red team. 4 gateways. Ooh. I don't know if the red team knows there's 4 gates. I think they might expect some other shenanigans like early expansion DTs or something, Reaver. I think maybe here, like you saw in the Bonnet and the Seeker game, that the blue Zerg should stay closer to the red Zerg, keep the link count down, flee when they see the Goliath, be more passive, pick your battles. I think the blue team is going to have a great amount of units, but the blue Zerg Overlord is not moving out on the map, so Wave is gonna have to use his talent to buffer for the mines. See? Yeah, that's a good take. Oh, connects. Oh, there. Oh, 3 Dragoons dying. 25 minerals worth, killing 400 mineral support. I think Itsu's second hatchery should have been in his main, so he could have had 2 hatchery muta built. Because he's already been making mutas for 5 minutes longer than Babu. Yeah, they know the mines are there. And the face of Wave's Dragoons have almost cleared out the entire map of Dragoons, so he can soon move out freely. That's a big sandwich from the red team. I think they have too much mutas, because Itsu's Mutas has been doing so much damage, right? Right now they're quite damaged. As you can see, they're being picked up quite easily. I think, I don't know, no expansion from the blue Pradas, no second hatchery from the blue Zerg. So this is starting to look dangerous for the blue team. Ultras, I don't think he has missed the supply depot the entire series, so he always constantly has his Goliath building. He's trying to retake his base. I'm not sure if the red team should put pressure here or just wait below the ramp. And again, Ultra already has a scan ready, but then you can see how much is he's not used to it. You can see his 1 versus 1 experience, and he knows you're gonna need a scan. And the faster scan you have in the 2 versus 2 is going to surprise your opponent, because usually you think, I'm gonna win the game, I'm gonna change it up, I'm gonna make DTs. Nope, I had scan. The blue team is floating quite a lot of minerals. This is what I was talking about in the Andy game earlier. Like, he had natural, but he could keep his minerals down. But you have so little gas on one gas, so hard for you to make mutas and zerglings and hatcheries and drones all at the same time, because you have only a specific number of larvas. Ultra again with a decent SCV count on 2 base. Wave now trying to retake. Babo with the superior muta count. And again, Itsu is still unfortunate to lose his natural. And now the game is reversed now. Now it's Babo playing CVC versus Itsu. And it's PvT on the other side of the map. Still Itsu trying to move around on the map. Babo just controlling, keeping track of where his mutas are. I think Wave is still on Goon heavy play. Yeah, purely Dragoons. And with Ultra already having siege tanks, I think it's gonna be hard when they finally move out for their final engagement. And it might looks like this is it. I think the red team is just going to A move on Wave right here, and I think this might be it. Strongest play from both teams, but I think the Chilean team just had the upper advantage of having Babo's experience in the 2v2 scene. So yeah, that's Jiren and Ultra moving on from the lower bracket to the next stage. And that was it for today, guys. That was all the games we have today. Once again, I would like to thank Foxand for helping out with the organization and the sponsorship, Robo with the sponsorship, Zero with the big casting, and again, we're hoping to get a second season. So when you wake up in the morning, when you go to work, tell your friends, tell your family, tell their friends and family, tell their friends and family. And yeah, we need your support, and we're gonna make a great second season, hopefully. And see, yeah, we're back next Saturday, I think, for day 5. So tune in then and tweet about the 2v2 scene, tweet about ShieldBattery, tweet about Blizzard making Ladder great again, tweet about Terran being the #1 race. And stay safe, you guys. Drink Bacardi and have fun. And thank you for tuning in, and hope to see you next weekend.
Thank you very much for watching. That was a pleasure, as always. Tomorrow we're gonna have another day of cast. But maybe now I will play one more game because the girls are sleeping, so I still have time.